Yes. What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Gunners Chat Room. Hope you guys are having a beautiful and fantastic day. Football is back, or almost back. This weekend, Arsenal will be taking on Southampton at the FA Cup. It's going to be an interesting one. We are going to be talking about that. But before we even talk about Southampton, there's been chaos. Whenever there is international break, Arsenal must always dominate the news because who else are they going to talk about apart from the mighty Gunners, right? And this one, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing because about 10 Arsenal players all over the world pulled out from their international duties, and this has got people talking. Is it an Arteta diabolical master plan, or is it that the players are actually injured? We're going to be debating this today, right here on Gunners Chat Room. Please press the like button, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to our Giga AFC, and let me welcome back the panel, Mr. Johnny Boy. How are you feeling today, man?
I'm happy. Maybe not because of us now, because Italy didn't make the World Cup, so I'm happy. Because
Hmm.
if they had made the World Cup, they would have turned the stadium into a mini Italy. Because I know the Italians I live around, so it would have
Yeah.
been Canada would have been the away team in a home match. First ever that has been done. So I'm happy they didn't make it. So
Mhm.
apart from that, and my striker, my striker Sigari took his country to the World Cup just like I wanted. So two things made me happy. Yeah, Canada and Sweden.
Okay, fair enough. Did you watch any of the international games?
I watched the Sweden game and then I watched the Italian game as well. So I was watching the Italy game and the Swedish game at the same time.
Mm, fair enough. And Jiga, the big figure. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing okay, bro. I didn't watch yesterday's games, bro. The yesterday games I didn't watch because I think I was busy at work. But anyway, I'm a good. I'm just not happy, bro. There's no football, Without football, there's not really much to talk about,
Mm,
we still, you still have thoughts about the Carabao Cup as well. You still think about it,
yeah.
and people still blaming Kepa. So I'm
Hmm.
over the Carabao Cup and I'm ready to go now. I'm ready to go. Let's see what Saturday will bring for us.
Yes. For me, yeah, football. I tried not to watch any of the games, but then I saw Ivory Coast, Scotland, and I
Scotland.
said, let me watch it, and they won, isn't it? But like Ivory Coast played very, very well. Like I was very, very impressed. So that's good. At least Africa should represent a bit in the World Cup. That's what we want. If Nigeria is not going to do it, we'll support our Ivory
Yeah,
Coast people. And
Senegal, Ivory Coast, and Morocco.
Senegal, yeah. I will partially support Ghana, but not really. But yeah,
Then.
but yeah, man. What do you think? What are you guys making of all like this news that Arsenal withdrew a lot of players from the international duties? Let me pull up the list. I think there's a lot of them, and the list of injuries that they claim that they had. So Gabriel Magalhaes did not go to Brazil because of a knee pain. William Saliba did not make it to France because of ankle injury. Julian Timber did not make it to his country because he was not fully recovered from injury. Eze because of calf injury that he got in the was the Everton game. Leandro Trossard, who did not go because of fitness concerns. Declan Rice and Saka both went to the England camp, but they pulled out because of they had to do a medical assessment.
Fatigue, fatigue, fatigue.
Noni Madueke got an injury, a knock. We saw the pictures of him leaving England squad with a knee brace. Zubimendi was pulled out of Spain because of a knee discomfort, and same with Piero Nkapie injury.
In Capi, they say it might be hamstring. That's what I heard.
Yeah, during the Ecuador match. So people are saying that Arteta is the one influencing this. He's pulling a Fergie. That has been the conversation so far. Do you guys think that is true, or do you think these are like genuine injuries and or slash precautionary withdrawals? I'll start with Johnny Boy on this one.
For me, it's nothing. It has nothing to do with Arteta because we all know as Arsenal fans. For instance, the Saliba case, we know Saliba has not been fit for a long while. He has been
Mhm.
managing his injury. So I think, and remember, people forget that it's not just the Arsenal medical team that gets involved. The crew as well also checks on the player. So the club cannot just come out and say, "Oh, the player is not fit," and then the country takes it. Now, the country also sends its own doctor as well to go and confirm.
Mm-hmm.
And there has to be an agreement from both country and club to determine if player is fit to travel or not. And from Saliba's case, I think the French doctor had seen that, okay, this guy has been knocked, so let's just rest him. International break. Let's be honest, France team is well stacked. The coach doesn't need Saliba to actually play France and Brazil and Croatia in this and Colombia rather. So I can understand him not risking Saliba. Which one would you prefer? To carry Saliba now and not take him for the World Cup, or to leave him out now and take him for the World Cup? So I think that's what he came out to. And then with them, the English guys, like you said, they were called up, they went to the camp. And then in camp, I think we all knew about Rice as well. That Rice has been running on empty. And I think the news that came out, I think even Tuchel came out and said that Saka and Rice, he doesn't know what they're even doing in the English camp because they're not fit. That's basically what he was saying. They're not fit to be played because they are fatigue. I think it was what he said, fatigue. So they were not fit.
It is fatigue. But I'll play the clip. I have the clip queued.
So it basically tells you that what we have been saying about our coach in Arsenal is true. That he kind of plays these guys until they're kind of on the even more than red zone, because even red zone he still plays them in the red zone. So and then Ikape, like I said, Ikape was fit. He played in Ecuador's game, but I think they are saying that it was a hamstring because you can literally see in the video clip, he just felt something and went down. So I wouldn't say it has nothing to do with Arteta. So all this speculation about Arsenal tactics and shit, I don't think so. I think some of the injuries are actually real injuries, while some are precautionary, whereby the country is also looking after the interests of the player, not just themselves. Because let's face it, like things like England, Brazil, France, they already qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah.
And pretty much the players that didn't make it, I think they're kind of, I would say Gabriel is guaranteed to play for Brazil. Saliba is also guaranteed to play for France.
Is it?
Rice and Saka are guaranteed to play for England. So I don't think they need these games to actually, play to get into the manager's books or anything, because I think they already guaranteed their spot being fit. So those players, the manager doesn't want to take the risk. They have important games with their club side. So they were like, you know what, go back and let me give you the rest, and then you go back to your club football. Why the other guys, I think they were real injuries, like you said. The Madwicke's injury, I think I think it's serious because he left in a knee brace. So, but I don't think, and the Eze and Timber, way before the call up for international duty, they were injured. So them being out is not new. So I think it has nothing to do with Arsenal. Obviously, they are fit. Some of them are fit for our games coming up, but I think it has nothing to do with the club, because both country and club has to come together doctor-wise to agree that the player is not fit. So that's just what I think.
Fair enough. And Jiga, do you subscribe to that? These are real injuries / precaution, instead of just saying, no, Arteta was just pulling a masterclass, just trying to preserve his players, and told them not to participate in international duties?
He is just pulling everyone back. He's definitely told everyone, if you feel your back paining or your neck is paining, bro, just pull out. Pull out, bro. Even if your toenail is paining, pull out. Because we all know one thing, guys. Every time an international break is on, we always get injuries. We always come back with a lot of players injured. So why do they need to risk it for a friendly match? Okay, for your case, we understand, because he's doing a World Cup qualifier game.
Yeah.
But for a friendly, for a friendly, no, put them back. Mourinho is all used to do it, so it's good because he needs these guys to lock in. And I think the same thing with what Johnny Boy said. Fatigue is the main thing with these players. They need to get a rest.
Yeah.
The amount of games they are playing is crazy. You remember Rodri, I think last season he complained the same thing. Yeah. The amount of games they are playing is crazy. They need some rest, I think that is the main thing.
Some of these guys, they didn't even have a summer break. Sorry to cut off. They didn't have summer break. They played in the Club World Cup. So there have been no break for
Yeah, for me, I think they are actually injured, because we know that our manager Arteta, he has a history of playing players through injury. You know, it's not new.
To me, the England manager literally threw under the bus. That's what I saw it as.
Yeah, but it's not really under the bus because he knows that is true. Because Arteta said Rice was playing with a toe injury last season. Calafiori already said that last season he ended the season, he needed surgery, but he still played to the end of the season. Like same thing Ben White. Well. Yeah, but it has happened to Ben White in the past. Like it's not new. It's been the thing that a lot of Arsenal fans, one of the things that they have against Mikel Arteta is not rotating enough, playing, overusing players, and when it comes to the tail end of the season, when we actually need them, they are not fit and available. So you talk about the England manager. Let me just share the clip, so that we can just watch it and react once and for all. So this is him talking about the injuries. Don't let me down now.
Click the play button.
Obviously, Noni Madueke, look, we saw him leaving a knee brace. It looked particularly bad for him.
Yeah.
Declan Rice and Saka joined up, but
had a medical assessment, wanted desperately to play, to just get the narrative straight, wanted desperately to be involved, but it made just no sense to take this risk. If it would have been maybe a last game of the season, we would have kept them and tried everything, but in this moment of the season, it did not make sense. The risk for making it worse was just way too big. They were both in discomfort, clearly in discomfort when we did the medical assessment. So it made absolutely no sense that they stay. Adam Wharton had a little injury, like just also more discomfort than a big injury, but he will out. Everyone will be out for some quite some days, but not dramatically.
And Noni, that looked particularly bad with his.
Yeah, and the assessment was then with a picture slightly better than his feeling, but he will be out for some days.
Obviously.
Yeah, so let me just start with the Madueke. You said Madueke one is the injury is not as bad as he's feeling. So when they did the scan, it's not as bad as the feeling. So that kind of agrees with Jiga saying, you know, the manager have told them if you feel a slight discomfort, make sure you remove yourself from that situation. So which on the one hand, on the other hand, it also goes on to tell, like Tuchel is a understanding person, because yes, it's a friendly. They still need to risk the thing, risk the players, because like you said, Rice and Saka are in clear discomfort.
Yeah.
So if they're in clear
discomfort, see it as Arsenal fans, we can see it.
Yes, because obviously even in the Carabao Cup game, you could see that Rice was like second half. He was. They
were dead. Him and Zubimendi, they were dead.
Saka as well had no contribution in that game. Some people are even arguing maybe even he was playing with an injury in the Carabao Cup game now, not after they've heard the Tuchel clip. So if these are real injuries, like what does that say for our season going forward? Because we are at the crunch time of the season. We're having all these players injured, Nkapie injured, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Declan Rice, Saka, Havertz, maybe. You know, you saw the Ghana.
Havertz was fine.
Havertz was fine, but you saw
the list.
The Ghanaians wanted to break his leg. Maybe that guy was a United fan. The guy was just jumping on Kai Havertz's leg, like he was being targeted. So, like, how are you feeling for the rest of the season if this injury or this precaution continues this way? I know it's only 7 games to go in the league, but we still have FA Cup, we still have Champions League games.
I'm worried though.
Very high intensity games.
I don't think any Arsenal fan will be worried, because you have literally all those players we just mentioned are literally almost our first 11 that we've mentioned. Zubimendi, Rice, Saka, Gabriel, Saliba, Nkapie, Timber, Eze. That's our first 11 right there, barring Gyökeres and maybe Trossard. In fact, Trossard is in the list. So he had Trossard.
Yeah, but
so
Trossard
is Gyökeres that's not our first 11.
Yeah, Trossard is just fatigue.
Yeah, so you're literally saying Arsenal have to play maybe the next 1 month with our second 11, basically, in the Champions League, in the league, and in the cup, which is not feasible. I know we have 9 points lead in the league, but to me, 9 points is I wouldn't still say it's over, because like you said, like I said, Man City still has Arsenal to play and they have a game in hand. So if they're to beat us now, win their game in hand, all of a sudden it's 3 points. So I wouldn't still be confident that the league is won yet. So if the injuries are real and true, I'll be worried, because we are entering crunch time in the season. And if there's one thing about Arsenal that has always been around the years, that we always choke during this part of the season, right? This is always the crunch time. We always seem to fumble the bag. And imagine going through this tough period without our first 11. It's going to be difficult. So I'll be worried though. But hopefully, I think Gabriel and Saliba should be fine to me. And Trossard. I think the only players I'm really worried for is probably Eze. Because I think they said Eze's injury seems to be worse than they are reporting it. That was the rumors that was coming out. You know, our managers most times doesn't like coming out to say the truth. He did it with Havertz last year. Havertz was in this year and he was out for next year. He was out for the whole season.
Yeah,
so
Eze is
the only person I have real concern.
If Tuchel did not say that Grice and Saka were injured, were uncomfortable, we won't have known that.
We knew, but he just confirmed what we knew.
Yes. But
I think most Arsenal fans knew it, but just because it wasn't confirmed by the manager or medical personnel, we didn't know. But like deep down, we knew that those guys were carrying something because they're not being their main self this season. We see the way Rice plays. Rice is always he doesn't play that for like whole 90 minutes. He does it in sports, so you know that something's wrong. And I think he came out and said that he has been dealing with some toe problems. I think Rice also said that. At some point this season. So we knew that deep down. Hopefully the injuries are not serious. They have to manage and serious to the end of the season. That's the only prayer I can pray right now because I can't see us going through this season, the end of season without our first 11 players. That will spell doom.
Jiga, do you think that Arsenal are going to bottle it because of all of this fatigue or injuries or players burning out?
No, I think for the league, I think we have a good cushion. I don't see us really dropping that much points because we have a good cushion. So I think we can manage. And I don't think these players are really injured. You know, I think that if they can get 2-3 days rest, you know, and then minimum training, less training, they'll be back. They'll be back for Saturday. I think Saturday is going to be the key game. So people are just getting rest up and. Because the problem we have played a lot of games as well. Now we don't have Carabao Cup. That is less workload for the team as well.
Yes, but
because we were fighting on 4 fronts.
Yes, but the games that we have next are still intense. You know, quarterfinals, FA Cup, quarterfinals, Champions League, and then the last 7 games of the league season. So they're quite.
That is why That is why Arteta called everyone back, bro. That's why he's telling them, come back and lock in. You know? Everyone is back now, locked in. You know? Yeah, because there is no, guys, if this international break would have finished, I'll tell you, we'll be getting more injuries. It will not be Madueke only. Probably would have had Saliba's injured or Gabriel's injured. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be intense.
Because Brazil and France had to travel to the United. They came to the North America for their friendlies, which is quite.
So you imagine, right? Yeah.
No, I'm just hoping that this does not cost us. But even if they want to, I don't mind it costing us in the FA Cup. I'm not going to. If we lose to Southampton, I'm not going to be angry. Just win me the league. Yes, however you want to do to win the league, please win that league. We can't take any more year of bottling.
No, bro. Arsenal needs that league more than ever because I fear for those players' mental health if we don't win the league this year again.
Yeah, because we're not going. Like they're not even going to make.
Arteta is better off just quitting because what does he want to tell the players end of season if they bottle the league again? What do you want to tell Saka and Rice?
Or even make it worse, trophyless.
You want to tell them that we should go for the 50 again? And they would just look at you like a madman. To be honest with you, the guy is a madman.
Nah, I think the league Arteta can get. Arteta still probably has problems with these knockout games. The knockout games, that is the way he probably is. He's not good in gambling when it comes to a knockout game.
Which is why I've never really cared for those. I wanted us to win one cup, but like that's why I've never really cared for that because, like I said, tactically in those games. I don't know, like we saw it in the Carabao Cup. Arteta is not tactically flexible like other managers. That's the problem we've always had with him. So that's my fear. If you come up against an Enrique, if you come up against a Flick, what do you do if they make some adjustment to counter what you are good at? How do you adjust? Those stuff like that. Those has always been my concern with him when it comes to like cup. But the league, I think we have seen he's able to manage that. So that's why, to me, the league is where we are. I've always said I think we're going to win that, and I still stand by us winning the league. But for like Champions League and the FA Cup,
just like the number of players.
FA Cup. FA Cup, he might win it. FA Cup, he might win because we have a good FA Cup.
But just like you say, there's no assurance that if we win Man City, say we win them in the final. Do you trust Arteta too? Obviously, he probably will not play Kepa again, but do you trust him to still be tactically sound if Pep makes a small adjustment?
Yeah.
Do you trust him to do that?
I just want to say that, Jiga said Arsenal has a history in the FA Cup. No. Arsene Wenger had a history in the FA Cup. Because this is the first time that we're making it to the quarterfinal since
Arteta won it.
So I don't know about that.
because he has won it before. That is why I'm giving him some.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because he has won. So probably, I'm giving him a little hope.
Yeah, since we are speaking about the manager, I'm sure you guys have heard the rumor or seen the rumor that there are talks in the background of him getting a new 6-year contract.
I don't know.
Wait, yes. You've not heard this news? Okay.
I've not heard it too. I've not really followed.
Okay. It was everywhere in the last 3 or 4 days. It was just all over the internet.
I've not even seen it.
Yes, I'm going to play it with the most trigger. I'm going to play it from the most triggering Arsenal fan on the internet.
Oh my God, you go.
For us. Yes.
Arsenal and Mikel Arteta are in talks for a new long-term contract. Keep your meltdowns to yourselves, you bottom gooners, you Arteta outers. Us Arsenal fans here are very happy with the news that
he needs Arteta to win this league more than everybody,
one of the best managers out there right now. Think about it. A lot of people don't rate our attack. How are we still one of Arteta's biggest defenders? Don't rate our team. How are we still one of the best teams in Europe right now? A lot of people just don't rate this squad, and at the beginning of the season said this was not a title-winning squad, and it looks like we're on pace to go and win the title without a player in the top 10 goal scorers in the Premier League, might I add. It is a collective, not one individual carrying the team. But if I was to say the most important part of this team, it is the brains. It is the genius himself, Mikel Arteta. And you Arteta outers, you crybabies who constantly...
Yeah, I'm just going to stop it there. That's yeah. So what are you guys saying? New 6-year contract.
Too much, man. What the hell? Nah, that's too much, man.
This current deal,
Arteta doesn't, even if he wins the league, I wouldn't, because he still has one more year. I wouldn't extend it because I would look at next year and see what he does. It's fine winning the league this year, but what are you going to do next year? If, God forbid, we have a season like Liverpool next season, what happens? You understand? So I wouldn't give him 6 years. The 1 year he has is fine. He has 1 more year left. See how he goes next season, and then
why they're even beginning talks? He has not won anything. Why are they even starting the talks before
your club rides on good feelings, or when they always do stuff when they notice the club is down or the fans are down, they try to give you cherry news. That's what they always do. That's why when Arsenal loses, they give you like Saka's new contract, or they give you one. Or Arsenal, remember last season when we were meltdown that we're not signing anybody, then they brought out the news about Zubimendi. Remember that Zubimendi was coming in the summer confirmed, just so that it will keep the fans quiet. Because they knew that the messed up last
they'll post some new names.
Or when
they'll post some new clothing line.
It was Sunderland, they announced Saka's contract. So Arsenal always does this. Whenever there's like a downturn of results, they try to bring out a positive spin, maybe something that's going to take your mind off the rubbish that you just witnessed. So that's not
you guys don't want Arteta for another 6 years, is what you're
No. Not that I don't want it for another 6 years, but he has to earn it. Basically, that's what I'm saying. He has to earn the 6 years of him being there.
Right.
It's not that I don't want him, but he has not earned the 6 years. So I wouldn't give it to him.
So Dr. Toves, if he does not win anything this season, you're giving him 6 years?
I don't have a say. That has always been my
stance. No. You have a say on this. You have a say on this channel, unfortunately. You have a say on this channel.
Let's say I don't have a say.
No, let's say he had a say.
He's keeping him. Dr. Toves is giving him 6 years, I'm telling you.
No. That's a misconception. If I had a say, Arteta will not be manager, but I don't have a say. I didn't have a say when we made Europa League. They gave him a new contract. I didn't have a say then. We
all don't have a say. We all don't have a say, but we are just saying our opinions. Everyone, we are asking for your opinion.
I'm a realist. I don't fantasize about things I can't control.
He wants to give Arteta 6 years. This guy. You want to give Arteta 6 years?
Why would I give someone 6 years that I won't have had in the first place? But again, it is.
So it's a yes and no.
This is Cronky Sports Entertainment Club. They do whatever they want. It's not whatever fans say. You can argue, you can do protest. None of those things has ever affected them. They do what they want to do, and that's what they do. So if Arteta is here for
but you can say the fans have been wrong because Arteta and Wenger got sad because of the fans. Sorry, Emery and Wenger got sad because of the fans.
Yeah, the Wenger one was different. The Wenger one, the seats like there were empty seats in the stadium.
Even Emery, remember Emery's last game.
But I'm just saying that there were protests.
Arsenal fans were cheering for. Arsenal fans were cheering for. Was it not Frankfurt who played in the Europa League? I think it was Frankfurt. Yeah. They were cheering for them when they scored. That was how far down the fans were on Emery.
But I think we've had this conversation about Emery before. Emery was them Raul Sanieri. You know, they're coming from Barcelona. If fans are down tooling, they respond. Yeah. Like that's why I want to use Wenger as the example. Fans were protesting. They were flying airplanes. People were fighting in the stands. Kroenke didn't do anything about it until they started showing like half of the stadiums were empty. Yes, it was still sold out. People were buying the tickets, but on TV, half of the stadium were empty. That's when they took a stance, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, no matter what fans are saying, they're not reactionary. To them, they're looking at the bottom line. And is this guy making them money? Yes, he's making them money.
So they give him the contract for that. Money, man.
Exactly.
I think we made the second most money in the Champions League this season, I think.
Yes. So for me,
we are record to make so much profit this year than ever.
Yeah. So I agree. To me, I think fans can complain all they want, they can say all they want, but if the guy is making money for the owners of the club that cares about the money, they will give him contract because he's doing what they want.
Yeah.
You know, whether I like it or whether I don't like it, it makes no difference. That's where I see it. It's not going to make any difference. I don't care about it. But we have a channel. We talk about this.
He's a lucky bastard because remember during COVID when Arsenal were going through that run, had it been the fans were in the stadium, he would have probably been sacked there. When Arsenal, remember there was time Arsenal went for like 3 months, we didn't win any game.
Yes,
I don't remember. if it was now when the fans were in, I think Arteta would have been sacked. Because even the touches of him, his followers that time, were even calling for a sack. I remember I was seeing the clips of it recently. Then Robbie, DT, all of them, they were like, you know what, we gotta sack him. Even strict to all those guys, they were like, yo, he has to go.
So even last season, a lot of people were saying that, oh no, he should go. Season ended, it's like a brain reset. They were saying he should stay. So that's what I'm saying. Like fans are always up and down. If the team is winning, they will say yes, keep him. If the team is not winning, they sack him. So that's why
last season they got Champions League, but that season we finished I think 8th or 9th that season. And we didn't make Europe at all for the first time in how many years? So I believe that year he would have been sacked. That was the year we went out to Villarreal now.
Yeah.
That was the year.
I think 8th we finished 2 times, right?
Yeah. No, but I'm talking about the second year. The first year, that was his first. He started halfway through the season. But the second season, that was the year he finished that. Bro, I think Arsenal went like 3 months. We didn't win any game. We're losing to Burnley, Leicester, like Wolves. Everybody was beating us at that period.
Yeah.
So
I think that is the season where Smith Rowe saved him.
I think that would have been sacked.
I think that's the season where Smith Rowe saved him. I think in December or something.
That was the year.
Was it not the next year when we made top 4? When we made top 5? Sorry.
Yeah, it was the next year. But he would have been sacked. That's what I'm saying. Because the fans that season they were done. A lot of them were done. They were done.
Yeah. So basically, there's no consensus here.
To me, I say he doesn't deserve the 6 years. I will wait. There's no rush. He still has 1 more year. I understand.
For me,
summer, but he has 1 more year, so there's no need to rush. We let him win.
We need to see what he wins.
Let's win the league, because I'm sure he's going to get a bonus either way. If Arsenal win the league, he's probably going to get a bonus. Give him his bonus, thank him, support him again in the summer to make the squad better, and then see how it goes next season. That's before you begin.
Because you cannot be second again, ole, and you get a new contract. No, it's not.
Yeah, but again, we don't know, because sometimes how these things work is they will just put this.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's Arsenal does that.
To see how fans react to it.
They do that.
Yeah, to see how fans react to it. Again, it was only one person that posted that news. It was not like everywhere, like from all of what you call the normal traditional sources, right? It's just
I didn't even know about it until you brought it up, to be honest.
Yeah, but it was everywhere, man. It was everywhere.
I saw one person talking about it. One person told me the story before. But I didn't want to believe it. I was like, nah, this is not the time to be dealing with contracts.
Well, usually this is the time. If players have less than 2 years on their contract, you guys say start negotiation, isn't it?
But players are different from coaches.
Because negotiation take a long time. It might take like 3-4 months. So when are you going to start? End of the season, when the guy is going on holiday?
No, you can start beginning of the season.
We all know Arteta don't want to.
4 months, they can start September next year and be done by December.
Yeah, but if he wants to, what if he wants to go?
And then he goes. That's fine. Then you start planning.
You are talking like a fan.
He's not going. He's not going anywhere.
But let's be honest here. Every company plans for eventualities. You cannot base your that'll be poor company to just solely depend on Arteta. What if Arteta wakes up tomorrow and say, you know what, I've won you the league. I've tried. I'm tired. Nobody saw
that's what they want to know, and that's why they're giving a contract now. So what are you doing? Are you going to stay and sign or not? What are you doing? So that
but like for instance, look at Klopp. Nobody saw Klopp. Klopp had like 3-4 years left in his contract with Liverpool. Nobody saw him resigning. It was out of the blue. So for instance, that kind of thing happened.
Would have told the board. Like Klopp
I'm sure he would have told the board. I'm sure Klopp made that decision that season. He didn't make it. He didn't make it before. He made it during the season. So I'm saying, supposing stuff like that happen, you have to still plan for eventualities. You still have to have your plan B.
No, even in normal traditional workplace, there are certain positions. I've seen people that have to give 1 year notice before they quit.
That's fair. That one is fair. Like for a CEO, yes. For a CEO, yes, you have to give like
way advanced notice, so they are finding replacement. I think it's the same thing that will happen to like people like their managers. If you are thinking of leaving, you would have said something a long time, like you will give them enough time to find a replacement before talking. Which is fine. Because even Glasner, when Glasner finally announced, he said that he had told Steve Parish a long time ago, and he was glad that Steve Parish did not announce to the press. So if Arteta is leaving, they will want to know now so that they can plan for the future. That's what.
That's fair. But at the same time, even them should still be planning too. That's what makes you a serious club. You can't just be hoping that Arteta stays. Like you said, Arteta can have a change of mind tomorrow and see what he has been at the club 6 years. He has tried. He has won the league. He has finally achieved his goal of winning the league, and he's done. Does the club fold up? No. You still have to think of plan B.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Arteta not going anywhere.
No, we're not saying he's good, but I'm not saying you still have to plan for eventualities because, like you said, they're not in Arteta's mind right now. Nobody's in Arteta's mind right now.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the next game against Southampton. Let's use that one to round up because the manager's not going anywhere. At least against Southampton, he's going to be the manager in his old contract, not a potential new one. How do you guys see that game going? Because for me, I think Southampton already knocked us out in one of the FA Cups before.
Yeah, the Arsenal's boogie team, especially in their ground.
Yeah, in 2021 or something. They knocked us out of.
Yeah, Arsenal hardly does well against Southampton. Remember the season we bottled the league too. It was from Southampton game we started. Remember 3-3 at the Emirates. Yeah. It was for Southampton. Yeah.
So what are you guys saying? How do you see it going?
No, so St. Mary's is always difficult. St. Mary's is always. I think they beat Fulham, or which team they beat? Fulham, right?
I think so. Yeah.
They played Fulham.
Fulham. You're right.
So it's gonna be a difficult one, but I think we can get through. I think it's gonna be a difficult game, but we will definitely win. I want an FA Cup. I'm not. I want an FA Cup.
You want everything.
I'm greedy.
No, that makes sense. Like, how should we line up? Saying like, if let's assume that those injuries are 100%, right? Even though we know some of them are exaggerated, as Tuchel just said, like, you know, the exaggerated things. Like, how should we line up? How should
regardless, we are going to play our team B.
Kepa to start.
So like I said initially, the players that mostly injured are first 11 players. So to me, nothing really changes. The same guys that have been playing FA Cup are still going to play this game. But the only person that is probably not going to play, that should have played this game, is probably an easy, maybe. Or but other guy is probably going to be back, so he's going to play. So okay, and the Madueke, probably Madueke here. So apart from maybe Madueke and maybe Easy, the team was always going to be our second 11. Maybe those guys were going to be on the bench, maybe your Sakas, your Rice. But like it was still going to be our second 11, like them Jesus, Martinelli, Mosquera, Calafiori, Miles
Lewis, Leo, this was
Kepa, so Norgard. So it's still going to be the same team that's still going to play the game, and those guys are pretty much fit. So I'm still going to
give us your predicted lineup.
Predicted lineup. So I'll say probably he's going to stick with Kepa. I think he's going to stick. So let me just say Kepa. I think Timber should be back. So I'll play Timber right back. No, sorry. White right back. Calafiori and Mosquera center back, and then MLS left back. Midfield, I will go with Norgard. Is this Salmon?
Yeah, but Salmon is a right back.
It's a right back, right?
Someone is a right back.
Okay, I'll play Norgard MLS and then move move Salmon to left back, or Calafiori to left back, and I play Salmon and Mosquera as my center back, and then Martinelli, Dowman, Odegaard, Jesus.
Okay. Jiga, how are you lining up? What's your predicted lineup? Let's put it that way.
Of course, we Kepa, Ben White. Who's gonna play?
Mosquera.
Kepa, Ben White, and Mosquera and Gabriel. Miles Lewis, Skelly. Then Norgard, Odegaard, and who's gonna play my 8 now? Probably Kai Havertz. I don't know if he's fit, but I don't like Kai Havertz in the mix.
But Kai Havertz that's the problem. Kai Havertz is not good in middle. If Kai Havertz is not a striker, he's useless. We saw that in the Carabao Cup. And remember, Arteta tried that when he first came to Arsenal. Arteta tried Havertz there. That's what killed him. So the problem with Havertz is not good as anything midfield. Take him out of there. That's my problem with Havertz.
Yeah.
In the middle of the pack.
So I don't know who I'll put in the 8. Probably you put Trossard there.
No.
Trossard is played in the middle.
No. Trossard is not smart enough.
He has played there before. He played there last season.
Yeah, he played there last season, but it didn't make much of a difference.
You know, Arteta in this FA Cup games and everything, he's doing a lot of experiments. You saw at the previous game he played 3-5-3 defenders and everything. He's doing a lot of experiments. So let's see. You know, because I don't want Declan Rice playing this game. That is the thing. I don't want.
So if it's not going to play, we know that. When Arteta is not mad, he cannot play Declan Rice in this.
You can't say we know that. We don't know that. We've seen our manager do some weird stuff. So
but at least this season in the FA Cup, he has been smart enough not to play Rice.
But he comes on.
So I'm gonna put Kai Havertz there. I'm gonna put Kai Havertz there, and then you have Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, and
Dowman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Madueke is injured, right? I don't know if Madueke is going to be available.
Yeah.
I doubt it. I think Arteta will probably want to rest him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's my predicted lineup is going to be Kepa in goal. Like we know that's what's going to happen. On right wing, right back, it will be Mali Salmon, then Mosquera, Jesus, and Calafiori, and
Mosquera and Jesus.
Gabriel.
Oh, wow. Like,
I was thinking,
he wants to plug him to the
they're all Gabriels. They're all Gabriels. Sorry, Gabriel. Right. And
I know
then
that is mad, but it's not mad to that level.
Middle, Nogard, and MLS. Because I think I wanted to do it in the last
Wigan against Wigan. It was Wigan.
Yeah, and then Fury got injured.
So he had
to go back. So I would like to see that this time. So Nogard, MLS, and in front of them, that's where the conundrum is. But I'll put Havertz there. Because they said it's 4 to 6 weeks, right? So it's not available. We're not sure if Odegaard is fully fit, like available yet.
But they're saying he's fit, that he's been training though.
Yeah, so if he's available, then obviously Odegaard. If he's not, then it's going to be Havertz. And on the left, Martinelli, Jesus, and Dowman. That's
my problem with that midfield, that there's no creativity. That's just the problem, bro.
Bro, we have been playing without creativity. Like,
but at least we had Odegaard. We had when is it?
Max Domen is going to be the one. Max Domen is going to be the one that's going to be.
Yeah, but I don't want to be putting that more pressure on the boy, bro. I don't want to be putting that pressure on him.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Yes, there's no pressure on him. He's playing with freedom. You know, it's the same thing as MLS last season in 18. They just gave him the freedom. And now when they put expectation on him, he could not perform. You understand? So they were just giving, enjoy yourself. You're in the first team, youngest guy to score in the league. Just enjoy yourself, do your thing.
Because this MLS stuff, it baffles me because MLS was never a good defender. I mean, what MLS was good at last season, but he was a very good in battle. Mm-hmm. That's just it. So people are just MLS was never a good defender last season. There was a game. I think it was against
Real Madrid. Against Real Madrid, he defended well.
Yeah, he tried a little bit.
No, not that he tried a little bit. For me, it was one of the men of the matches against Real Madrid.
Which of them, the first leg or the second leg?
Both. He shot down first leg, especially. He shot down Rodrigo. Vinicius went there. He shot him down. Anybody that went there, he shot them down.
Yeah. But this is he hasn't been bad like that defensively.
Yeah, because his role has changed.
Arteta would rather play defender, and he just showed me that last season. The reason why he got his chance was because Calafiori was injured. That's what he showed me. That's what he showed me this season.
Yes, but at the same time,
if he was fit, he wouldn't have.
Again, the style of play is different this season. Last season, Timber will be a defender. MLS will invert. But now, this time, sometimes you see Timber is the most the player.
Yeah, because that's to tell that Arteta doesn't want MLS there now. That's what I'm saying. MLS is too bad. MLS is too much of a risk defensively. That's fine.
So.
And he trusts Timber that Timber can recover too. That's why he allows Timber because Timber can recover back as well. So Timber can attack and defend at the same time. And you know Arteta loves those kind of players.
And I was going to say that, like Dowman does not track back. When Madueke and Saka are playing there, they track back. But Dowman is not. He doesn't track back.
Do you want a Dowman to be tracking back? I don't want.
He doesn't have. I don't want Saka to track back. I don't want Madueke to track back, but they're tracking back. But I'm just trying to say that Dowman will have the freedom to do whatever he wants on the pitch. That's the point I'm just trying to make. But anyway.
Bukayo Saka cannot track back. He cannot attack also, bro. Bukayo Saka, his legs are gone out. He cannot do anything.
He needs 1.5 season off.
But the problem, there's no rest. There's no rest for him. He's going to the World Cup, and immediately after the World Cup, he's back for preseason.
Mm-hmm. And he will play most games.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
like this is why a lot of people were saying last season that he should have just let Saka just be. Don't rush him back. Saka would have had 6 months rest because he would have been out from December till June. So that would be like 6 months. He would have had 6 months rest.
They should have treated Saka the way he treated Jesus, because when Jesus came back from all those, after a couple of times, was like, you know what, just rest.
I blame the fans. I blame we fans, because the fans were putting pressure on Arteta to bring him back. That's why. Because I remember that time everybody was saying,
no, I don't blame the fans. I don't think Arteta is listening to the fans. I don't think the fans say play Saka.
He does. Arteta does listen to the fans, because there's something this season the fans had been calling for, and then he did it the next game. You can't tell Arteta doesn't listen to fans. He does, because even the players have said it that they listen to social media, and I'm sure
The
Arsenal.
players listen. But I don't think Arteta is like, oh, I need to make a tactical change. Let me see. Oh, let's listen to what the fans are saying.
But you know, Arsenal as a club have people that look at social media and pick out. They do that, and I'm very sure they relate to Arteta, whether they do, because that's why they look at it. The job is to relate back to the manager or to the club. What's the feeling among fans? So you can't tell me maybe not to much extent.
So why does he play Saka in all those copies then? Because no fan wants him to play like Saka against like Pogba.
No, we know that. You know why he did that. But our boy must collect his mad bonus. We know why he's doing that one. This one we know.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, let's round up prediction, guys. Prediction. I'm going
at 4-2-1. Southampton, like I said, it's a difficult ground for us. Always been a difficult team. One of us now will be team.
I'm going 1-1. 1-1. Anything that happens after that happens.
No, Arsenal cannot afford to go to extra time.
No, I don't see us winning.
We cannot afford to go to extra time, man. When you're
2-0.
When you're dealing with somebody injury, the last thing you want is getting extra minutes there. And nah, bro. Please, I rather we go out in 90 minutes than to take the extra. Let's just go. If it's that the case, let's go out. To better situation, because we need all the rest we can get right now.
So to recap, you're saying 2-1. You're saying 2-1. I said 1-1, and Jiga said 2-0.
So 1-1. Who now wins from 1-1?
Or anything that happens after happens. At that point, it's anybody's game. Exactly. Yeah, man. Any other thing that we should cover before we go, man? Any other?
I wanted to say I'm happy for my striker. Maybe that helps his confidence, because he was on fire this international break.
Yeah, he
was on fire. Yeah. To me, he singularly took Sweden to the World Cup. That's what he did. Without Isaac, without Kulusevski. So hopefully that builds confidence and he can take it to Arsenal, because we need him this last 7 games.
Style of play. Yeah.
I'm happy for Gyökeres.
We don't play the same style as Sweden, but
Yeah, I mean, true, but like his last goal, the goal is against
confidence wise, it is good for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Okay. The only person Cariferi now, hopefully Cariferi is can recover well, because it was a crushing. It's going to be crushing for him and Italy. This is their third World Cup. They are not going to be at the third time. They're not going to be at the World Cup. Hopefully, it doesn't affect Cariferi that much.
Nah, he'll be fine. He's making money at Arsenal. He'll be all right.
Yeah, but
they'll go to Euros.
Italians are very, very emotional people, man. I have some of them as close people. They were mad yesterday. A lot of them, they were mad.
Yeah, when he wins the league, he will be like, all right, cool, Euros next.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so that's why he needs to forget Italy for now, considering us now.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that the players are generally injured, or was just Arteta was pulling one out of the bag? Do you think Arteta deserves a new 6-year contract? Please let us know in the comments.
Bro, 6 years is 2032. Oh my God.
2033, because it will be concurrent with this one. So 2027 plus 6. So it's not going to be like a stopgap. But yeah, you guys let us know what you think in the comments below. And while you're doing that, please press the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Ajiga_AFC. Same name on YouTube, same name on all platforms. And we'll be on this channel on Friday or Saturday, depending on how we feel. But right, Jiga? Am I speaking your mind? Yeah, Friday or Saturday, one of them.
Yeah. No, I think we'll do it on Friday, because we have a game. We have a game on Saturday.
So yeah, that's true.
We'll do the proof.
Yeah, and look out for Run of Play podcast on Sunday, where we'll discuss with some United fans, and we'll be back, I think, after the Champions League game.
Yeah, Champions League next week. That's true.
Yeah. First leg. But yeah, until then, please take care, people. This has been Gunners Chat Room. Peace, guys.